Hi guys, and thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name is DeLady Designer, and today we are back with some more Planet Zoo and a new project we are working on with the Barnyard Animal Pack, our cozy farmstead built on a mountain on this beautiful sculpted tempered biome map in Sandbox mode of the game. If you are still interested in grabbing the Planet Zoo Barnyard Animal Pack yourself or any other Planet Zoo pack, then definitely make sure to check out the sponsor of our channel, Instant Gaming, because via their website you can get all Planet Zoo packs and many other games with a really great discount. And by buying via their website, you will get a great discount and you will also be supporting the channel. You can find a link to their website in the description of this video and in the pinned message of the comment section so you can easily find it. So in today's episode, we are going to work on the Alpine goat area of our farmstead, and we are definitely up for a challenge here because you can't really see it right away, but there is like quite a steep slope here of the mountain edge, and I really wanted to incorporate this whole area as much as possible to the area for the Alpine goat. And yeah, I would not really recommend it because it is really a pain in the butt, to be completely honest, especially when doing the fences, adding the grass, well, pretty much doing anything that is on a slope. So, but I was like, you know what? We are working on this small project. I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to be lazy this time. I'm just going to fill it all up as much as possible. And I'm actually quite happy with the end result here. Now with the Barnyard Animal Pack, we also got free update, what was it, 1.17 with the animal encounters. And just like I said in the first episode, like, I don't really feel like adding animal encounters in every habitat, pretty much because as of right now, at least, I think it still is. It's such an overkill and such a busy area when you add the animal encounters in a habitat. It just, I don't know, it turns me off a little bit how big of an overkill it is. So I do really hope that Frontier will change the frequency and amount of, like, I already have the zoo. It's not open right now when we're still building, but I already did set it to like the minimum amount of guests, and I do really hope that it will change once we have more habitats for the guests to explore later on. But right now, with only having 2 habitats pretty much, yeah, it's still way too busy in my opinion in the habitat, but it could change later on. So we're just gonna wait and see how that will go. But yeah, I definitely, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the idea of the animal encounters, but more if it's like just not too busy, I guess. But okay, we have like a path going around it. We're going to use the small new gates that we got with, I think it was free update as well, right? I think the small gates are also, even though like small, they're just lower. I wish they were like more narrow, but it is what it is. Also, if I would be able to recolor them, because right now they are brown when we are still using like the white fences. Like I do know that the Barnyard Animal Pack has like this really cute fence as well with like these vertical plates. I don't know how to explain that more, but you guys probably know what I mean. But I just don't really find those fences really fitting for a lot of these bigger animals. I'm definitely going to use them for the the Sussex chicken habitat, because I do really find that a lot more fitting with like a chicken coop. But for this type of habitat and then the size of the animals and such, yeah, I'm just not really a big fan of those type of fences for these type of habitats. So love the fence, definitely do, but just not really for a surrounding like this. And I'm still really happy with the fence that we are using. You can also, I think you can also download it from the Steam Workshop if you're playing on PC, because I think it's the same one that I use. I actually don't know if you, you can, of course, with PC. It was like, did the Conservation Pack already launch for console? But that doesn't even matter, because unfortunately you guys are playing on the console edition, you are not able to download my blueprints. But yeah, I think we used it also for the Przewalski's horse habitat we created with the tropical pack. Talking about the Przewalski's horse, I actually got a few people asking me like, oh, why are you not going to add the Przewalski's horse in here? I love the Przewalski's horse, like, don't get me wrong, but I already used the Przewalski's horse for Eco Island Park, for Tropical Franchise Mode Zoo, and I'm really in love with these horses, but for this little series, I'm just like, no, I'm a little bit Przewalski's horse tired for just this particular series, okay? So yeah, we're not going to use the Przewalski's horse in here. I also did get a question about, I think it was the camels and the llamas. Well, I'm already calling the alpacas llamas constantly. So I don't really feel like llamas in this particular area at all. And no, for the same goes for the camels. I'm just not feeling anything. I don't really find the camels fitting at all in this particular biome or mountain farmstead that we are creating, to be completely honest. So definitely not going to add the camels or the llamas in here. And but okay, I was actually talking to you guys with episode 1 being like, oh yeah, no, we're just going to use only the barnyard animal pack animals, but that's actually not true, because someone also did mention you should definitely add the mute swan in here. I mean, the mute swan, I think the mute swan is gonna be perfect. The only thing that I have my doubts with is the water area, because as of right now, I'm not feeling too much for like creating a big pond or anything like that around this area. I might just want to go for like something more man-made, but I think just combining the mute swan with one of the other animals, so just to create a mixed habitat, but not per se like that. The mute swan really lives there. Well, it actually does live there, of course, but it was not really intended to make a habitat for them, but they just decided to start living on our farmstead, something like that. I think the mute swan definitely would fit super nicely somewhere in this cozy farmstead. If you guys have any ideas or suggestions of how we can incorporate these animals, definitely do let me know in the comments down below. The other animal that I do feel like we should definitely add, thank you so much for the person that also commented about that, is the Indian peafowl. I mean, what is, okay, it's not really a petting zoo, but what is a farm without chickens, which we're going to add, and a peafowl? I mean, a peafowl or one or two or whatsoever, but I mean, a peafowl would be just simply fantastic. And I was actually thinking, I'm not going to add the Indian peafowl into a habitat as in a mixed species or whatsoever. I think we are going to add the Indian peafowl probably somewhere at like the front area of this building. I'm going to talk about this building in just a second, you guys. Don't worry. But like there is going to be like more of a little plaza area. There's going to be a restaurant with some outdoor seating area. I think that we should be adding the Indian peafowl somewhere just roaming around. Maybe, just maybe, I'm thinking out loud here. Maybe we should just add like this big fencing around the whole farmstead and just have 2, maybe 3 peafowls and some little ones walking around the whole farmstead area. I think that would be just fantastic to bring alive this whole farmstead a lot more. So I am going to skip the idea of only barnyard animal packs because I think it's a perfect idea for the one who gave me the idea to add the mute swan and the Indian peafowl as well. I can't think of any other animal of all the 187 animals that we have right now that would fit this perfect as well to this barnyard animal pack. Okay, I'm thinking of the raccoon. maybe just living somewhere as well. No, okay. If you guys have any other suggestions other than the Przewalski's horse or the llama or the camels, let me know. But I think just looking at the type of farmstead we are going for, I think that this one and the P file are best fitting. So, okay, wait, let's just go and talk a little bit about the Alpine goat area that we are working on right now. Because as you can see, we did already create like this indoor area, and I really got inspired by, like, when I was a kid, there was like this petting zoo where I went to very often in Delft. I wonder if there's anyone watching right now that also is from Delft. That is my city that I was born in, and I lived there until I was 21 or something like that. I actually don't know exactly. Oh no, I should say until I was 18 because I'm always 18. But that's a side note. Anyway, so yeah, I was inspired by that petting zoo, and there's also a cute petting zoo as well in Zoetermeer, so Sweet Lake City, how we also call it. I think it's called Geertje or something like that. And you have like this barn section with like these adorable baby mini goats, and you're able to bottle feed them. And obviously we don't have any bottles in the game, but what I actually tried to do, because I remember when being a kid that when you went there, you had to climb over the fences because there were like these smaller sections in the barn where all these baby goats were wandering around, and you could give them like a bottle, and it was just the cutest thing ever. So yeah, the sections that I created in the middle of the barn, those are definitely inspired by that idea that the guests would climb over the fences and be able to see all these tiny, cute little goats roaming around, give them a bottle. But I was already putting in some goats later on into the map, and the mini goat, the baby goat, was just standing there still. There's no water, there's no food access, etc. And I was like, oh gosh, this looks like, the idea was amazing, but it's just not really working how I want it to work, and else I need to hide like a water pipe and whatsoever. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. So okay, the idea is still there, but I did open up the gates so all the goats can just walk around everywhere. Unfortunately, I have to live with that a little bit. Also, you're seeing me putting down the elephant grass, and that was actually because someone did comment about the animal encounters and the way how they work in the game. Now, I know that a lot more people are a lot more excited about this whole animal encounter feature. Not only the feature with the guests interacting with the animals, but also the fact that guests can roam around. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not like too excited about it. Well, I already did say that a few times, why I don't really am super excited about it. But it is a cool thing that the guests can pretty much roam around everywhere. And you can use that in your advantage. So you can actually create pathways for your guests to walk wherever you want. And someone did comment that the way, like, of course, the traversable area for the guests work and for your staff work the same for your guests when they are inside this animal encounter habitat. Which means that the elephant grass can be used to make sure, or to make like invisible boundaries for your guests and your animals for where you want them to walk or not. So I did use some elephant grass underneath the surface here, underneath the terrain, to kind of create or like influence a little bit where the animals and the guests will walk, because it really else just feels like they're just everywhere, and I just really don't want that, because it's just ruining the immersion. Like, especially I'm using like these larger grassy flower things to create more of this wild, overgrown feeling. And then you have guests walking right through them or walking through a tree. Like, hell no, that's definitely not what I want. So it's actually quite cool that you can influence where the guests and animals are walking while just using some elephant grass underneath the terrain. So that is definitely a really great thing. Now, I do realize, like, one of the things, like, I'm not super enthusiastic about all of this, but I think Rudy Rankemel is like creating, oh gosh, that's my alarm. I'm just gonna turn that one off. Rudy Rankemel is, I'm not really sure if he already posted it on his channel, so I'm not going to spoil too much, but definitely go and check out Rudy Rankemel if you haven't yet. But he's like creating, I think it's a goat habitat, with like a lot of these, how you call it, like these rope bridges and stuff, which you can use for your animals to walk over. Guests can now pretty much walk over those because they are just walking everywhere when you create a big animal encounter habitat. You can create huge plazas, just like a normal plaza, but if you now just create an animal encounter area from it, you can have guests roaming everywhere. And I just love the idea, really, don't get me wrong, but the fact that guests are just roaming just everywhere without a reason just kills the immersion a little bit for me. Now, I did understand from Rudy Rankemel that you can kind of force guests to go from one side to the other side while using the hygiene stations. So that would be an area where they would go for it, especially if you're not going to use it particularly in an animal habitat, but just an area with fences around it. So I guess that would also work. Now, what does trigger me to make it feel a lot more interesting, there was like this, oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it. One of the best zoos that we have seen with a zoo tour was like this zoo, and I think it was also inspired of a zoo in Denmark or something like that. It was like, I'm gonna link it in the description of this video because you really, really want to see that zoo in general. But it was like this indoor zoo. It has like, I think 3 tropical domes, and the foliage in there is just freaking fantastic. Now, why do I mention this one in particular? Because I can imagine if you would be able to like create just simply a white fencing around the whole dome pretty much, and make that whole habitat area, which is not per se a habitat, but make that habitat area to be like this animal encounter area. Like this creator created like these trees with like these also these rope bridges pretty much, with all these small little planks and little ropes, and they were just going everywhere through the sky, with giving you amazing views inside plenty of these beautiful habitats. But it like you can't really create that with Planet Zoo, because one, you have like pretty wide path for your guests, and like having these smooth, pretty round going pathways or rope bridges, it would just not really work super well. So most of these, as far as I can remember, are like more cosmetic little bridges, right? But with these animal encounters, you could actually have your guests walking over like these little side paths that you are going to create inside of your zoo, which does make creatively it a very interesting change and a very interesting new feature of Planet Zoo. So that is definitely something that would trigger me to maybe do something in the future. But as of right now, I'm not going to use that too much. But I know Rudy Rankemel is definitely on it to give you guys tons of inspiration of how you can do that. So one, you go to Rudy Rankemel. I'm gonna link him in the description of this video. Keep an eye out on his channel to see the goat habitat or whatsoever he is creating with this really cool feature. And definitely also go and check out that amazing zoo tour that I'm talking about, because that one is going to blow your mind. We have seen a few really amazing zoo tours over the past 4 years on the channel, and that is definitely one of my most favorites still. There are a lot of most favorite ones out there because there are just so many insane creators out there, so definitely go and check that one out. But okay, back to this barn before this speedboat part is already ending, because as you can tell, I actually did change the color scheme of the wood on the outside, and I did not only change it here, but or used it here, I also did change it for the sheep and alpaca habitat, because one, it just did remind me too much of the tropical franchise series Przewalski's horse habitat that we created, and two, I just felt like it wasn't cozy enough, and I hope at least with using a bit more brighter, warmer color in this case, that it will give a little bit more of a cozy vibe. I am already super happy with how the vibe so far is looking. It's a lot better than the darker brown color that we had at the other farm. So yeah, we're definitely going for these more warmer colors to create more of this cozy vibe. We're obviously going to use a lot of the props and stuff that we are given with the Barnyard Animal Pack. I do still feel like it lacks a little bit with the variation. I really wish Frontier would have added a lot more to it. But it is what it is. We're going to work with the stuff and items that we got. Now, I did get one question of someone asking, like, will this become a children's zoo with a playground? I might be squeezing in some type of playground at the restaurant area if I have space for it, but I'm actually not entirely sure if I will be having some space for it. Also, someone else did say, like, oh, you should definitely hang some kind of, like, the new tires we got with the Barnyard Animal Pack, to hang it on a rope on a tree, which would make it feel like a swing. Like, if we have some space for it somewhere, I will definitely do that. Also, oh yeah, I totally didn't think of that, but if I will be making blueprints, I will definitely be making blueprints from most of these things, so definitely keep an eye out for my Steam Workshop page. As of right now, I'm a little bit in the lack of time. We're trying to renovate our house a little bit, or at least trying to get some new closets in and just tidy up everything, and it's costing a lot of time next to playing Planet Zoo and my other job that I have now throughout the whole midweek, pretty much for 4 days. So yeah, I'm a little bit tight with my time, so I'm hoping to have one Planet Zoo episode ready every weekend, but I'm just not going to promise anything because I just don't want to disappoint anyone if I'm not able to do that. But yeah, do really hope that you guys understand that not doing YouTube anymore as a full-time job is not entirely helping with the amount of time that I have, of course, to play with the game. I am having a lot of fun with Planet Zoo at the moment, so that's at least a good thing. The burnout that a lot of you guys are experiencing as of right now or the past few months is definitely a thing. So I'm happy to see that I definitely wasn't the only one that was really struggling, and that the Barnyard Animal Pack is definitely helping to get a little bit more inspiration back. I did see a lot of people also saying, like, oh yeah, it helps so much to just start this mini series and just go for a specific group of animals, just a selection of a few animals, and just go for one specific theme or whatsoever. It definitely does help with getting back some inspiration and motivation. So yeah, if you are also struggling with inspiration, definitely just try and go for a smaller themed zoo and just have fun with that. But yeah, okay, now that the speed build is over, let's jump into the zoo, or no, it's not really a zoo, into our cozy farmstead and just show you guys around. Here we go, the Alpine goat habitat at our cozy farmstead. And oh my goodness, oh yeah, gosh, I need to purify these fences still. But the view and just putting that extra mile into detailing it, all the grass and stuff. Yeah, well, we obviously also need to do the rest here still of the mountain itself. But just look at this. It looks so beautiful. I've never used so much terraforming, built with so much terraforming in any of my zoos, so it's just so much fun to play around with this, but oh my goodness, it's really a pain in the butt to add all this grass and stuff right over here, just turning on your angle snap on and off, and then having your rotation turned on, but it's so worth it. Just look at the view here. This is so amazing. Also the view here, but I already did show you guys, but I just can't get enough of it. The mountains look fantastic. So, okay, we have guests here. Now, I do have to admit, like, letting the game run for a little bit longer will help with the amount of guests. So I actually do appreciate the few guests that are walking here. I did, oh, they're so beautiful. I did turn on, like, you have like this setting saying how many guests will go off track. So amount of roaming guests controls the amount of guests navigating the habitat off path and has no effect on the amount of guests on the path. So we have a path going through here and just a few people, like these people right now, are walking off path, and I think the longer you let the game run, the more it works. Look at this goat. I wasn't able to find any one with like these white markings or white spots, but this is a black one. Isn't that one cool as well? So this one, not really sure why. Oh look, why it is in French. I did notice that the names of these goats are all like, why is that? Like, we never had that? Not entirely sure if that is like a mistake, or is that just how it works for these goats? I really don't know. Hi, cutie. Oh, just stay here for a little bit. Okay, let's just select it. And just enjoy how adorable you are. I'm gonna turn off the light torch for just a little bit. Can you stop rotating? Oh man, just look at it. And it works super well. These animals do look amazing as well, having these like a lot of oh, we have a little one here with some white markings. Look how cute. Oh my goodness, I love you even more with the white. Oh, it's so pretty, isn't it? My gosh, I'm so in love with you. You are so adorable. I love it that I wasn't able to find an adult with this color scheme, but now I have a little baby goats. Oh my gosh, just imagine being able to bottom feed these guys. Wouldn't that be just freaking amazing? How is it called? Broken... my French is like, bad. A brown and white peed for black with black markings. My goodness, yes. Okay. I'm just enjoying these animals so much, but I'm getting distracted here. So we have this barn right over here. It's obviously not finished yet because we're gonna have like a gift shop, a restaurant, and I'm not really sure if I'm able to squeeze in a little barn here as well for pigs. May have been a little bit too small for that. Well, we shall wait and see. Because right over here, we do seem to have a lot of space still. So, yeah, I actually maybe gonna change a little bit here. Just have some pigs somewhere over here or something. I don't know. We're gonna wait and see. So they are able to... Okay, I'm gonna put out a little light torch. So we have a feeder right over here. I'm trying to keep it as realistic as possible with the nature. So we're only going to have the scarecrow. We have some barrels inside. So let's just go around here just to give you guys an idea of how the guests will see this. Obviously, around the habitats, we still need to work a lot on the foliage. But I'm just so in love with this beautiful mountain view. Now, this was actually... a little bit of a coincidence or unplanned. This is the gate, and I I was a little bit annoyed because I had no idea where to put the gate when I had everything built up already. And I had this guest path right over here. And then I was like, you know, I'm gonna add it here, but I hated the look of it. But actually just adding a few white beams, beams? It actually works super well. I'm actually quite happy with this little gate here, even though I wasn't really planning to do anything here. So, okay, we go back here. Guests can walk up. There's going to be a little plaza here, open area right over here. And guests can then enter the gate from here. Let's just walk around here. Oh, well, actually, let's just go here to the barn section or shelter section. So yeah, this is the area where I wanted to have all the baby goats. Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. Also, you're floating in the air. But I wanted to have baby goats in here, in this particular area and in here. And then just have this closed off. But yeah, as I said, it didn't really work out super well because that baby goat was just standing still here, being hungry, being thirsty. So yeah, I had to open it up, unfortunately. But it's still looking very cool. I'm actually so happy with how this area has turned out, even though we're using like tons of the same pieces of the Barnyard Animal Pack. It works super well. Added these hygiene stations as well, just for the idea. They're not being able to use that one, but I don't know, it just gives like this extra charm. Yeah, oh yeah. So yeah, oh, I actually forgot how high the flooring was. I might lower it later on, but I have to lower everything then. So yeah, maybe I should just raise the path a little bit underneath here. That would be a solution as well for a guest not sticking through it. But hey, it's just a small little detail, I guess. I'm not going to be bothered too much. I just love this black one. It's so beautiful. So yeah, we have lots of cute little goats in here, and then this is the other side. So the guests can walk from one side to the other side. We have one big hygiene station right over here. Actually, was that goat respawning now? Because I really felt like animals were not really respawning at all together. Oh, look at you! I love how it looked with the long grass, just having this little baby goat walking through it with all these beautiful flowers around it. Oh my goodness, yeah, I'm so in love with the environment here. Guess enjoying the view, let's just call it that way. But it is freaking amazing, isn't it? Oh my goodness, I can't believe this is actually Planet Zoo, you guys. It looks so freaking good. But yeah, okay, well, this is pretty much it. I don't really feel like adding signs or whatsoever in here. I'm only using these animal signs. I don't feel anything for education signs, conservation signs, or whatsoever, or speakers. I just don't find it fitting for the farmstead we are going for. So I don't think I'm going to use that. I think this is just going to be what we're going to do. Gonna have a nice little restaurant and gift shop right over there. And I don't know, we might be working on the chickens in the next episode, but I might change my mind and switch up the order a little bit of what animal I will be adding next here. But if you have any suggestions, like I just said, of what animals, apart from the mute swan and the P file, that we would be able to add in here as well, then definitely do let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like at this video if you guys enjoyed it, and subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. And yeah, I just really do hope to see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye guys!